There is always a distance between theoretical calculations and action in this world. However, with the benefit of the model we have produced and the calculations we have performed and the results we have at hand, we have now the possibility to understand the magnitude of the challenge, which hopefully will urge us to act in an immediate, concerted, and decisive manner. Of course, it's down to the governments, it's down to the companies, it's down to the institutions, but also to individuals to act. So I don't know is the honest answer, but I have high hopes that we are in better position now to act than we were before the release of this study.
But your report suggests no single solution can work. So what do we need to do? Is there a single way, the strongest way we can move forward to reduce waste?
So we need a combination, we need a whole suite of solutions that should put in place in parallel in order to massively mitigate the amount of plastic pollution. And let me explain where these could be, starting from circular economy solutions, so producing less plastic in the very first place, replacing it with other materials, although this poses a lot of wider sustainability questions there, and eventually delivering waste collection to the 2 billion people, fellow humans, fellow citizens of this planet whose waste is not collected, recycling far more, safely disposing of the material that we cannot economically and technically recycle.
So a totally new systemic change, but how is that going to be put in place?
Indeed, we need a systemic change, and indeed it's not going to be easy because it requires major change in the way we produce, we consume, and we return what we would used to call waste, and now we try to think of after-use resources back into the economy in a way that is both technically and economically feasible. Let me give you a couple of examples there of the level of innovation, the type of innovation that we would need. For example, when it comes to plastics, we have to redesign the plastics, the materials, and the products from the very first stage with in mind their recycling, their returning back into the economy for multiple material cycles. But there is also social innovation, or there is action for the governments, legal and other type of action. For example, the informal recycling sector, the waste pickers, these are the unsung heroes of circular economy of the global south. They're often prosecuted or ignored at best by the governments. Still, they're saving so much plastic from becoming plastic pollution.
When you talked earlier about what needs to be done, and you, like most people, say, well, governments need to work harder at this. But it's not just governments, is it? It's governments, it's big business, it's people like you and I. We all have to work together in this war on plastic pollution. But when you're compiling your report, do you see a will to do that?
It's an issue of action at multiple levels, and we all share responsibility. However, the ability to act and the results of our actions are different for different actors and stakeholders. That has to be made absolutely clear, and all the efforts should be transferred to individuals or to governments or to the industry or to academics. So I would say we see an action from all stakeholders. It is up to the level that we need. In some sense, no, it is not. And that's why our effort and our results there ring a bell that, look, we know it's a problem. We know it's a massive global challenge. We're not doing enough at the moment. And the business as usual, even with the existing commitments, is not good enough to mitigate the problem.